So, are you ready for your big debut?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 100 teen movies of all time.
Yeah! You are going to have the most excellent adventure through history.
For this list, we'll be looking at the greatest teen films in history. These flicks may be featuring adolescents or about the teenage experience. They can also speak to those in that age group directly or indirectly, mix genres, and have adults in them. We are, however, excluding fully animated movies, as well as stories that very heavily focus on those too young to be considered teens. Watch out for spoilers ahead, and let us know if your favorite made the cut in the comments below. Number 100. Not another teen movie. We love a good spoof. The 1980s and 90s captured something of a renaissance of teen movies, so it makes sense that the early 2000s would seek to capitalize on that era.
You obviously stole that speech from Karate Kid.
No, actually.
Shh. Jake, it's okay. I love you too. We all know where this is going.
Not Another Teen Movie riffs on a slew of adolescent-centered flicks you know and love. A solid chunk of its plot is stripped straight from 1999's She's All That, but it also takes cues from plenty of other productions, from The Breakfast Club to Bring It On.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about, because we've always done our own cheers. Right, girls?
That's right.
Basically, Not Another Teen Movie plays with practically every cliché to wonderful effect. Of course, the original movies have an extra special place in our hearts, but we love the way this one pokes fun at one of our favorite genres.
And I'll bet you that you lose that bet. But in doing so, you learn a much more valuable lesson and win. In life, that is.
Number 99. The Duff. While the 2010s weren't exactly the golden age of teen flicks, there were some gems that caught our eye. 2015's The Duff is one of them.
Okay, can we leave?
Definitely not. We've got the whole place. We are just getting started.
The movie puts Mae Whitman front and center as Bianca, a senior with besties who are rather popular while she's, well, far less so. When she finds out from popular guy Wesley that she's literally seen as a duff because of this, she takes her social standing into her own hands.
I'm tired of being the approachable one. I want to be the dateable one.
You asking me for dating advice?
The Duff takes a lot of the tropes found in quintessential teen movies and flips them on their head. Granted, it might not always be perfect, but the message that we should be true to ourselves instead of getting lost in pointless comparisons is a good one.
I like myself. I wouldn't want to be anybody else. And I realize now that none of this matters to me. But it does to you. It's your dream. And I totally support that.
Number 98. Do Revenge.
Are you new? I'm Eleanor. And kinda. You want a tour? I mean, as a disciple of the 90s teen movie, I would be offended if I didn't get one.
In the 2020s, we're finally getting some long overdue, fun, throwback-style teen movies helmed by stellar young stars. In Do Revenge, Maya Hawke and Camila Mendes show us what they can do.
We have to fix this.
Oh, I really don't want to.
We have to do
Oh, please don't say we make
a makeover. Yay!
so problematic.
It is, but it's fun.
The film, which often feels like a fantastic blend of the 80s, 90s, and aughts, is loosely based on a classic work of yore, Alfred Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train. Popular Drea and reserved Eleanor help each other out by exacting revenge on each other's foes, though things aren't as simple as they first seem. There are plenty of references to other great teen romps, excellent twists and turns, and a killer soundtrack.
Everything you've done, everything that's happened to you, has brought you to this moment. And now you're a butterfly.
Number 97. Blockers. Sometimes a teen movie needs some good old-fashioned meddling from, you guessed it, the adults in the picture. Blockers takes that concept and capitalizes on it.
I have invested every single piece of my being into preparing Kayla for success, and now this?
Leslie Mann, John Cena, and Ike Barinholtz star as parents determined to make sure their respective daughters do not get intimate on prom night. As you can imagine, plenty of hilarity ensues.
They're gonna spin and stop, and we're gonna spin and stop the other way, and we're gonna look at each other, and we're gonna go, it's all about the family.
Wait, I don't feel comfortable running the kids off the road.
This slow and unfurious attitude is not helping us. You have to believe.
Okay.
The movie is also a pretty great representation of adolescent-parent relationships, identity, and the struggles that arise in the midst of it all. In the end, the heartwarmingly funny antics that unfold between the grown-ups and youth makes this one a great watch.
I'll remember this. Come on. Oh my God.
Number 96, The Diary of a Teenage Girl.
My name is Minnie Getz. I'm a 15-year-old living in San Francisco, California, recording this onto a cassette tape because my life has gotten really crazy of late, and I need to tell someone about it.
A person's sexual awakening can be portrayed in many different ways. In 2015's indie hit, The Diary of a Teenage Girl, it involves a whole lot of twists and turns.
It was all I'd ever wanted, and now I had no desire for it.
The adolescent Minnie has an affair with her mom's partner, gets intimate with different people, and even pretends to be a sex worker at one point. But for as explicit as the film can get, it handles the protagonist's journey with care and frankness, always keeping her in mind but never backing down from harsh truths. The result is risque, entertaining, and pushes you to the brink in the best way.
So maybe nobody loves me. Maybe nobody will ever love me. But maybe it's not about being loved by somebody else.
Number 95, mid-90s.
Why are you always filming stuff on that camera?
Because one day I want to make movies. This one idea.
Sometimes setting a movie in a decade gone by shows how being a teen always stays the same. Mid-90s centers around a 13-year-old who starts hanging out with some skater kids and experiencing new things.
You literally take the hardest hits out of anybody I've ever seen in my life. You know you don't have to do that, right?
As evidenced by the name, the 2018 movie takes place in the 1990s, and definitely capitalizes on a sense of nostalgia. The story is a time capsule and doesn't hide the fact that acceptance had a long way to go back then. The movie isn't perfect, but neither are teens, and mid-90s makes for a funny and surprisingly tender film about teenage boys.
A lot of the time, we feel like our lives are the worst. But I think if you looked at anybody else's closet.
Number 94, 17 Again. After High School Musical, the world was Zac Efron's oyster, and he cashed in on that with a pretty great teen movie in 2009.
You're not, you're right, you're good.
Yeah.
You're not like the others.
I'm not like the others. I'm very different than the others. Very different.
Good.
So different, in fact, that you and I can never, ever be together.
17 Again is about an almost middle-aged guy who basically had it all in high school. But in the present day, he's in the midst of a divorce and living with general feelings of dull despair. Soon, he becomes, you guessed it, 17 again.
What are you eating? I don't even know. I just know I'm hungry. All the time.
Playing the 37-year-old protagonist in his teen body, Efron proves that he has extraordinary physical comedy chops. His interactions with everyone, from his soon-to-be ex-wife to his kids at school, are packed with humor and emotion. That, combined with the fun story and fantastic supporting performances, gives viewers something to remember.
I'm just saying, Naomi.
Naomi.
I don't care.
Number 93, Brick. It can be tough to make a dark teen movie work, but if there's one person we trust to get it right, it's Rian Johnson.
I got all 5 senses and I slept last night. That puts me 6 up on the lot of you.
It's easy, bro.
With Brick, the director's feature debut, he proves he has the chops to make a noir-style thriller with a teenage sensibility. Joseph Gordon-Levitt portrays a high schooler who gets more than he bargained for after the murder of his ex-girlfriend.
So what first, tip the bulls? Nah, bulls, gummit. I'd flash their dusty standards with the wide eyes, probably find some yig to pin, probably even the right one, but I'd trample the real tracks and scare the real players back into their holes. If we're doing this, I want the whole story, no cops. Not for a bit.
The flick has a smart script and really moves on the strength of Gordon-Levitt's performance, which feels fresh while still honoring the genre's legacy. Brick has become a cult classic in the years since its release, and for good reason.
Maybe I see what you're trying to do for her. Trying to help her. And I don't know anybody who would do that for me.
Now you are dangerous.
Number 92, Drop Dead Gorgeous. A funny teen movie that's also a takedown of beauty pageant culture? Sign us up.
Amber does my hair once a week.
Well, it's the least I can do for the reigning Mount Rose American teen princess.
Drop Dead Gorgeous features the likes of Kirsten Dunst, Denise Richards, Brittany Murphy, and a young Amy Adams in her very first feature film. If you're thinking, that's a lot of talent, you're right.
Well, as my mother says at Sunday dinner, come and get it. Get it all, right? I might even take seconds. If you want seconds, I'll make sure it's fine.
They play a bunch of aspiring beauty queens in a small Minnesota town pageant. While the script of Drop Dead Gorgeous isn't without its issues, its moments of dark humor are transgressive enough to keep you invested. Plus, with great acting all around, it's got more than enough to earn its cult status.
Hey, I got second runner-up. I got second place.
Third.
Huh?
Third.
Yeah, I got fine.
Number 91, River's Edge. Teenagers are as capable of great horror as anybody else. River's Edge takes on that idea with plenty of gusto.
Man, you act like I'm guilty of some crime.
What, do you think you're going somewhere?
I've got my rights. You can't keep me here forever. I didn't do anything.
It's about a group of adolescents growing up in Northern California. After one of them kills their girlfriend, the others have to decide how they're going to react, and things unravel pretty quickly.
Jamie is dead, damn it. And there's nothing that we can do to save her. Now, I happen to like Jamie, but John is still alive. Don't you see that?
And who's next on his list?
The performances are all amazing. And how could they not be with actors like Keanu Reeves, Dennis Hopper, Crispin Glover, and Ione Skye involved? More than that, though, the film is a wonderful, affecting meditation on the apathy that can arise when youth are disconnected and directionless.
No sense of pride, no sense of loyalty, no sense of nothing, man.
Number 90, Y tu mamá también. More often than not, growing up is complicated. And Alfonso Cuarón's Y tu mamá también explores just how freeing yet confusing the journey is. It sees best friends Julio and Tenoch embark on a road trip, joined by the older Luisa. Throughout the course of their adventure, themes of class conflict, politics, coming of age, and sexuality are explored. It culminates with one of cinema's sexiest scenes between the trio, which ultimately leads to something of a falling out between the boys. Y tu mamá también has something to say, and more than knows how to get its message across with style and substance.
Oye, Luisa.
¿Qué?
Perdóname por lo del empujón.
Julio, te pasaste un huevo.
Lo sé. Sí.
Da un beso. Da un beso. Perdonado.
Number 89, The Half of It.
I'll see you in a couple years.
Number 88, My Own Private Idaho.
I could love someone even if I, wasn't paid for it. I love you and you don't pay me.
Number 87, Can't Hardly Wait.
It's not just to tell her how I think she's more than the homecoming queen, or Mike's girlfriend, or how there's this really amazing person inside of her that no one even bothers to see.
Number 86, Can't Buy Me Love.
Okay, let's get this deal straight. One last time. Now, you can have Saturday nights, but only if you ask me in advance.
Okay, I'm asking you in advance. Will you go to the prom with me?
Number 85, I Know What You Did Last Summer. With the success of Scream in 1996, slashers had something of a resurgence in the 1990s, and one of the quintessential teen slashers of the decade was I Know What You Did Last Summer.
It's an urban legend, American folklore, and they all usually originate from some sort of real-life incident.
Taking cues from a Lois Duncan book of the same name, the flick introduces us to a group of teenagers who seemingly cause a person's death. 1 year later, the incident comes back to haunt them and they're left fighting for their lives.
Don't you see? He's got us now. Okay, this is exactly what he wants. We can't go to the police, not now. He's made sure of that. He's just out there and he's watching us and waiting. What are you waiting for, huh?
It's filled with typical 90s style cheese and is full of stars of the moment such as Sarah Michelle Gellar and Jennifer Love Hewitt. If there's one thing that's certain, it's that every person on screen knows how to dial up the camp to give us an incredible thriller.
And let me give you some advice. When you leave a man for dead, make sure he's really dead.
Number 84, 16 Candles.
Happy birthday, Samantha. Good wish.
It already came true.
Number 83, Alex Strangelove.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow, that was a nice surprise.
What am I doing? Why did I do that? I'm really sorry.
Don't apologize.
Number 82, Saved.
Jesus, he loves you. You don't know the first thing about love. I am filled with Christ's love. God.
Number 81, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Who are you guys? We're you, dude! No way. No way.
Yes way, Ted! Look, we know how you feel. We didn't believe it either when we were you, and we us said what we us are saying right now.
Number 80, An Education. Who among us wouldn't be captivated by Peter Sarsgaard?
We're not clever like you, so we have to be clever in other ways, because if we weren't, there would be no fun.
In An Education, Carey Mulligan is Jenny, a high school-aged girl who's dreaming of and getting ready for life after graduation. That prepping process includes a brief but passionate tryst with David, played by the aforementioned Sarsgaard.
Maybe all our lives are going to end up with pony essays. Or housework. And yes, maybe we'll go to Oxford, but if we're all going to die the moment we graduate, isn't it what we do before that counts?
The film does a wonderful job at presenting the romanticized version of David and Jenny's relationship through her eyes, complete with a trip to Paris. But when the truth eventually comes out, the shift is handled with care. Plus, Mulligan is stunning in her role, giving Jenny wit, strength, and spunk.
You sound very old and wise.
I feel old, but not very wise.
Number 79, Friday Night Lights.
I want you to put each other in your hearts forever, because forever is about to happen here in just a few minutes.
Number 78, To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
So, first things first, we need to have a contract so we're on the same page about the rules.
Guy rules? Come on, you really know how to zap the fun out of a situation.
Well, it's important to know where you stand on certain issues.
Number 77, The Lost Boys.
Just like one big happy family. Your boys and my boys.
Great. The blood-sucking Brady Bunch.
Number 76, The Karate Kid.
Show me wax on, wax off.
Number 75, The Outsiders. Most probably consider Francis Ford Coppola's masterpiece to be the Godfather movies or Apocalypse Now, but he also made a pretty wonderful teen flick, if we do say so ourselves.
I never noticed colors and clouds and stuff till you kept reminding me about them. It's kind of like they were never there before.
The Outsiders, which came out in 1983, takes place in the 60s and spotlights greaser teens and the troubles they experience in their young lives in Oklahoma. A book adaptation, it features a number of now instantly recognizable actors, including Tom Cruise, Rob Lowe, and Emilio Estevez, all of whom do great work.
Things would go a lot better if the socialists stayed on the south side of town, man.
Now, well, don't you worry about that, Johnny, because we're gonna have it out with them sooner or later.
The Outsiders is credited for helping to begin what's known as the Brat Pack, further cementing its importance. Even putting all that aside, it's just a good movie, plain and simple.
That's gold. Keep it that way. It's a good way to be.
Number 74, Rushmore.
What's the secret, Max?
The secret?
Yeah, well, you seem to have it pretty figured out.
Secret? I don't know. I think you just gotta find something you love to do and then do it for the rest of your life.
Number 73, God's Own Country.
I'm trying to do this. Don't you see? I'm trying to sort it out. And I've come all this way up here. And a coach and everything. And I want you to come back.
Number 72, Boyhood.
And he was talking about how much he loved your car, and so you were like, oh, this is gonna be Mason's when he turns 16.
What are you? All right, first off, I have no memory of that, all right? And second of all, I would never say that, never.
Yeah, you did, though.
Number 71, Dope.
Malcolm Jibbendiggy used to be in the school marching band, but quit in protest after refusing to play the Harlem Shake. They arranged to use the music room during lunch for their recently formed punk band, Oreo.
Number 70, The Cheetah Girls. Who doesn't love a good Disney Channel original movie? And the best DCOMs tend to be the ones that involve music.
Together we can walk into space, save the human race. Do you think we oughta?
2003's The Cheetah Girls started that trend, becoming the first Disney Channel original movie to be a fully fledged musical. And with Raven-Symoné, Adrienne Bailon, Keely Williams, and Sabrina Bryan at the helm on screen, how could you make it anything but? The film centers on the titular singing group made up of 4 high school friends and the trials and tribulations in their personal and professional lives. No matter what might drive them apart, these iconic cheetahs will always have each other's backs, and will always be there alongside them. Number 69, She's All That. Number 68, John Tucker Must Die.
So, what are you girls up to? Just drawing a man. Ooh, what do I make my check out to?
Number 67, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl.
It's like a menu for your future.
Can I finish my movie first?
Number 66, The Hate You Give.
You think playing ball and jumping in some lame-ass Williamson cipher makes you understand what it is to be black? It doesn't.
Star, I just told you I don't see color. I see people for who they are the exact same way I see you.
If you don't see my blackness, you don't see me.
Number 65, Pariah. It's time to discuss a teen movie that only continues to grow in the public's estimation. Pariah debuted at the Sundance Film Festival in 2011, and its star shot on from there.
Now go get changed. Dad, what's wrong with this outfit?
Nothing.
See, I'm not gonna argue with you.
Do what she says.
Dad.
Ungawa.
And put on a skirt.
Dee Reese's drama is about Alike, a teenager coming to grips with her queer identity. A lot of outside factors work against her, namely her parents, but while there are hard times ahead, the story ends on a note of hope for the protagonist.
I'm not running. I'm choosing.
This isn't something you see nearly often enough in queer stories, and it's done with skill and love. In other words, we won't be forgetting Pariah anytime soon.
Breaking is freeing. Broken is freedom. I'm not broken. I'm free.
Number 64, It Follows.
You can get rid of it, okay? Just sleep with someone as soon as you can. Just pass it along. If it kills you, it'll come after me. Do you understand?
Number 63, Bend It Like Beckham.
He's offered me a place at a top university with a free scholarship and a chance to play football professionally. And I really want to go. And if I can't tell you what I want now, then I'll never be happy whatever I do.
Number 62, The Craft.
Girls, watch out for those weirdos.
We are the weirdos, mister.
Number 61, Dead Poets Society.
We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race, and the human race is filled with passion.
Number 60, American Pie. When it comes to raunchy teen comedies, American Pie is considered a classic for a reason.
This'll do. Woohoo!
Back in 1999, the plot of this romp inspired so many to come. 4 high school friends decide that by graduation, they'll no longer be virgins.
This is our day. This is our time. And by God, we will not stand by and watch history condemn us into celibacy. Amen.
It's a tale as simple as they come, and yet it gives us so much. American Pie hits all the high notes of a gross-out flick for adolescents. It's uncomfortable, lewd, and silly as all get out. But for all of its hijinks, it still manages to make you feel a little something for its characters. No matter how ridiculous they may act, you're rooting for them. Most of the time, anyway.
Well, we'll just tell your mother that we ate it all.
Number 59, Sing Street. Number 58, Election.
And I think certain older people, like you and your colleague, shouldn't be leching after their students, especially when some of them can't even get their own wives pregnant. and they certainly shouldn't be making slanderous accusations.
Number 57, The Virgin Suicides.
And so we started to learn about their lives, coming to hold collective memories of times we hadn't experienced. We felt the imprisonment of being a girl, the way it made your mind active and dreamy.
Number 56, The Hunger Games.
Prim! I volunteer as tribute!
Number 55, But I'm a Cheerleader.
We all love you. And lately we've become concerned about certain behaviors. We're afraid you're being influenced by a way of thinking.
Sometimes critics get it wrong. Such was the case with But I'm a Cheerleader, 1999's seminal queer classic starring Natasha Lyonne. Lyonne is the teenaged Megan, who's made to attend conversion therapy camp when her mom and dad think she might be a lesbian.
I get good grades, I go to church, I'm a cheerleader. I'm not like all of you.
At the time of its release, But I'm a Cheerleader was accused of being, quote, superficial and stereotypical by some. Over the years, however, it has enjoyed a major reevaluation that's turned it into a certifiable cult classic. Nowadays, it's deservedly considered one of the most important queer movies in the canon.
5, 6, 7, 8, don't run from me, 'cause this is fate.
Number 54, Step Up.
Catch me.
Now
Put me down.
Number 53, Pitch Perfect.
Don't you amazing, forget about just the way you are. As you walk on by, will you call my name?
Number 52, 5 Feet Apart. Number 51, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Does she know?
Know what?
So she does it. Good. Close to the vest. I admire that. I've got a few secrets of my own. Of all the reasons I didn't want my daughter to date.
Number 50, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Sometimes it's the little things that matter. Thankfully, with Fast Times at Ridgemont High, director Amy Heckerling and writer Cameron Crowe really did sweat the small stuff.
Hey, you crazy for calling it like screaming.
It was yellow a minute ago, I'm sure.
In 1982, Fast Times perfected the template for the high school comedy. It follows multiple teenagers and nails the humor and dramas in their everyday lives.
I don't want to talk about it here.
I want to talk about it.
Brad?
Lisa?
Brad!
Their adventures are brought to life by one heck of an ensemble cast, too. Sean Penn was the breakout star, but the movie also notably marked both Nicolas Cage and Eric Stoltz's first appearances in a feature. Of course, we also can't say enough good things about Phoebe Cates and Jennifer Jason Leigh's work. The final product speaks for itself.
You have dated older guys. You work at the best food stand in the mall. And you are a close personal friend of mine.
Number 49, Jennifer's Body.
I am a god. Okay, I gotta meet Chip in McCollum Park. You know, Chip is looking really cute to me lately.
Number 48, Jawbreaker.
Let's stop pretending, shall we? We once spoke of ammunition if I'm correct. And I don't know why, but it really struck me. Well, in the last few weeks, it's all come clear, and on a clear day, baby, you can see tomorrow.
Number 47, American Graffiti.
Someone wants me. Someone roaming the streets wants me. Will you turn the corner?
Number 46, Napoleon Dynamite.
I don't even have any good skills.
What do you mean?
You know, like nunchuck skills, bow hunting skills, computer hacking skills. Girls only want boyfriends who have great skills.
Number 45, 8th grade. Middle school is rough, and 8th grade isn't afraid to capture all the awkward moments that come with it.
So growing up can be a little bit scary and weird, but it's also a really good thing because you get to change things that you might not like about yourself, and that's good because change is a good thing.
The 2018 dramedy perfectly encapsulates that in-between time in one's life. Almost a little too well, if you know what we mean. Elsie Fisher portrays Kayla, an 8th grader dealing with a desire to be popular and experiencing anxiety.
By the way, I like your shirt a lot. It's like so cool. And I have a shirt too. Also, you know, I wrote this like letter for you and whatever. So if you want to have it, it's like a thank you.
In addition to really nailing the cringe factor, 8th Grade is a super sweet coming-of-age story, and a really good father-daughter one too. We hope Bo Burnham continues making movies like this for years to come.
You never know what's gonna like happen next, and that's what makes things exciting and scary and fun.
Number 44, The Spectacular Now.
Amy, you're absolutely beautiful.
Oh my god, no.
Number 43, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
To the pants. And the sisterhood. And this summer. And the rest of our lives. Together and apart.
Number 42, Freaky Friday.
Look at me! I know, we seem to be inside each other.
Old!
I beg your pardon.
Oh, I'm like the Crypt Keeper!
Okay, that's enough.
Number 41, Say Anything.
All my instincts, they return. The grand facade, so soon will burn.
Number 40, Rebel Without a Cause. Fighting with your parents is a natural part of the teen experience for many. Rebel Without a Cause basically wrote the book on exploring intergenerational conflict.
You're tearing me apart!
What?
You say one thing, he says another, and everybody changes back again!
Starring James Dean, the 1955 classic became the defining text for a generation of young people. The middle-class teenagers driving the story live in apathy in suburbia, and great attention is given to their relationships with their parents.
In 10 years, you'll never know this even happened.
Dad, answer her. Tell her. 10 years. Dad, let me hear you answer her.
It can be difficult at times, but we also can't help but get swept up in the expertly handled melodrama. The amazing performances from Dean, Sal Mineo, and Natalie Wood certainly don't hurt either. It's everything you need to be riveted.
We're not gonna be lonely anymore. Ever, ever. Not you or me.
Number 39, Whip It.
In the Grand Derby tradition, as you know, the new poster girl is revealed by a member of another team. Sorry, widows.
Number 38, The Fault in Our Stars.
You don't get to choose if you get hurt in this world, but you do have a say in who hurts you. And I like my choices. I hope she likes hers. Okay, Hazel Grace?
Number 37, Call Me By Your Name.
Maybe it's not to me you'll want to speak about these things, but feel something you obviously did.
Number 36, Back to the Future.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
Number 35, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
George, if you will.
I solemnly swear that I am up to no good.
Everyone has to grow up sometime. While the first 2 Harry Potter movies are geared more towards children, the third is the first proper time we see all of our favorite trio as teenagers together. Alfonso Cuarón's version of a Harry Potter teenage romp has hormones running amok and antics like you wouldn't believe.
That felt good.
Not good. Brilliant.
This is the movie where we really start to see Ron and Hermione's romantic feelings toward each other start to grow. It's the movie where we see the students outside of their Hogwarts uniforms more regularly. And it's the movie where we see these teens really act like just that, teens. They horse around, get into trouble, and start to fall in love for the very first time.
Harry!
Bloody hell, Harry. That was not funny.
Number 34, A Cinderella Story.
I'm sorry I waited for the rain.
It's okay.
Number 33, Love, Simon.
You get to exhale now, Simon.
You get to be more you than you have been in a very long time.
Number 32, Dazed and Confused.
You cool, man? Like how? Okay.
Number 31, Carrie.
I've got the winners. All right. I give you Tommy Ross and Carrie White.
Number 30, Pretty in Pink. A teenage cult classic that also gives us some great social commentary? Yes, please.
You're ashamed to be seen with
No,
me.
I am
You're
not.
ashamed
I
to go
am
out
not.
with me. You're afraid. You're terrified that your goddamn rich friends want to prove.
Written by John Hughes, Pretty in Pink joins his array of 1980s films that are nothing short of iconic. We meet Molly Ringwald's Andy, a teen from a working class background, and get a look into the bond she has with the various men in her life. Notably, the movie fleshes out her home life and her relationship with her father as he struggles with his own heartbreak.
She left us, Daddy. We didn't leave her. There was nothing we could do about it. It just happened.
Since when's a daughter supposed to know more than her father?
It's a touching rom-com, but also interrogates class struggles from a teenage point of view. With great acting and a soundtrack that's gone down in history as one of the best, it's no wonder this one hasn't faded from view.
If you don't go to him now, I'm never going to take you to another prom ever again, you hear me? I mean, this is an incredibly romantic moment, and you're ruining it for me.
Number 29, Boys in the Hood.
You still got one brother left, man.
Thanks, man. Later, G.
Later.
Number 28, The Edge of 17.
Say something. Oh my God, say something, please. Help me.
You need to watch out for run-on sentences.
But can't you just do something? Can't you just do something? You got to be able to do something. You come on. You.
Number 27, Twilight.
Out loud. Say it.
Vampire.
Number 26, Donnie Darko.
I can see right now!
These guys can't open up.
Number 25, Little Women.
A friend of mine desired me to offer a story by her. She wrote it. She'd be glad to write more if this suits.
Not a first attempt, I take it.
No, sir.
Little Women is one of the most lauded American novels of all time, and there have been many, many film adaptations of the source material. Greta Gerwig's 2019 take injected new life into this classic tale.
I know you don't care what I think, but you don't want your mother to find you like this, do you?
The story of Jo, Amy, Beth, and Meg is not just one about adolescence. Yes, that is part of it, but its strength lies in the way sisterhood and womanhood, and the different forms those things can take, are explored through that lens. The performances are absolutely wonderful, and Gerwig's screenplay and style of directing brings these themes to the forefront in the most gripping of ways.
No one will forget Joe March.
I can believe it.
Number 24, High School Musical franchise. Number 23, Cruel Intentions.
Not bad. That was cool. Maybe you should try it on your friend Ronald sometime.
Number 22, The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
And in this moment, I swear, we are infinite.
Number 21, Dirty Dancing.
And I owe it all to you.
Number 20, Booksmart. Many people have called this the female Superbad, but we don't think that does either film justice.
You girls look fabulous and smart and also brave.
Booksmart does have a lot in common with the 2007 classic, but it's got more than enough of its own style making it unique. Beanie Feldstein and Caitlin Dever bring to life best friends who, after years of studying and only studying, decide to let loose on the night before graduation.
Otherwise, we're just gonna be the girls that missed out. We haven't done anything. We haven't broken any rule.
Chaos ensues, and we're treated to a ton of funny jokes and gags throughout the runtime. Ultimately, though, what makes this teen comedy ultra special is the particular way it portrays female friendship and all the conflict and love that entails.
I have nowhere to go with this. It's too perfect.
You are literally glowing.
You've hit the level of perfection, and now have you stole my heart?
Number 19, A Walk to Remember. When done properly, a more sentimental teen flick can completely capture audiences' attention. A Walk to Remember is proof.
I might kiss you.
I might be bad at it.
It's not possible.
Based on a Nicholas Sparks novel, it takes us along as a conservative, understated girl and a local high school bad boy fall in love. It's a pretty classic star-crossed lovers narrative at first, until there comes a twist.
You know, I was getting along with everything fine. I accepted it, and then you happen.
I do not need a reason to be angry with God.
Jamie, the aforementioned girl, has terminal cancer. This news drives the rebellious Landon, who's already big on helping her fulfill her dreams, to give her everything she wants for as long as he can. It's a tender, bittersweet, and heart-wrenching film that has had teens crying into their popcorn for years.
I'll always miss her. But our love is like the wind. I can't see it, but I can feel it.
Number 18, Superbad. Is there a more enduring teen gross-out comedy than the one and only Superbad? It came out in 2007 and still remains one of the funniest things we've ever seen. Considering the script came from Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, it's no wonder.
Excuse me, sir. Stop what you were doing at once.
Blue guy!
Resisting! Resisting!
The film is about Evan and Seth, played respectively by Michael Cera and Jonah Hill. These best friends want to use a party to get their first major sexual experiences under their belts and go wild before college.
Well, she's gonna be at the party, and she's gonna be drunk, and she likes me at least a little, enough to get with me. At the very least, I'll make out with her.
Of course, fulfilling their relatively simple goals quickly turns complicated. Superbad manages to be just the right amount of both crass and sweet, putting us on the side of the protagonists even when they're at their most vulgar.
I'm not even embarrassed to say it. I love you.
I'm not embarrassed.
Love you.
I love you. It's like, why don't we say that every day? Why can't we say it more often?
Number 17, Heathers. Talk about an audacious movie. But even in its brash boldness, Heathers is strangely poignant in its exploration of the types of violence that teenagers unfortunately have to deal with.
Society nods its head at any horror the American teenager can think to bring upon itself. Nobody's gonna care about exact handwriting.
The black comedy sees Winona Ryder as Veronica, the only friend not named Heather in a group of popular girls. Things turn bloody when a new kid shows up at school, ready to cause serious, irreversible harm.
I've got no control over myself when I'm with JD. Are we going to prom or to hell?
The satire takes on themes like self-harm, social hierarchies, and what happens when we find ourselves influenced by others, without really sugarcoating anything. Despite its darkness, it still manages to be one of the funniest flicks we've ever seen.
You wanted to be a member of the most powerful clique in school. If I wasn't already the head of it, I'd want the same thing. Come on, Veronica. You used to have a sense of humor.
Number 16, Scream. By the time 1996 rolled around, the successful slasher film was basically a thing of the past, but Wes Craven was able to revive it in a very special way.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Scream, written by Kevin Williamson, features one of the smartest scripts around. It satirizes slasher tropes, but does so in a way with a clear respect for the genre.
Help me! Whoa. Stu's flipped out. He's gone mad.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
It probably helps that the late Craven was something of an expert in the matter. as proven time and again with projects like A Nightmare on Elm Street. With meta insights around every corner and a stellar cast featuring Neve Campbell's Sidney Prescott as one of the best final girls in cinematic history, Scream is impossible to ignore.
You've seen one too many movies.
Now, Sid, don't you blame the movies!
Number 15, Juno. Teen pregnancy is a tough thing to deal with in a movie, but Juno does it right.
Would you shut up?
What, are you ashamed that we did it?
No.
Because at least you don't have to have the evidence under your sweater.
Starring Elliot Page as the titular protagonist, it follows a high schooler who gets pregnant and chooses to go the adoption route. But when Juno strikes up a friendship with the future adoptive father of said unborn kid, things start to go awry.
Idiot, I can't believe what an idiot I am.
No, you know what, Mark? Just do not divorce your wife. Will you please just do me a solid and stay with Vanessa?
You're so young.
The film puts a new spin on the teen genre, with unique dialogue and storytelling that has influenced many indie movies in the years since its release. And even with its offbeat sense of humor, it's got a powerful emotional core, bringing us to tears every time.
Someday you'll be back here, honey. On your terms.
Number 14, Romeo and Juliet. It's time to celebrate one of the oldest teen stories in history.
Swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb, unless that thy love proves likewise variable.
Romeo and Juliet has been retold countless times, including in 1961 with West Side Story, but the most teen-infused version of this very adolescent story has to be Baz Luhrmann's 1996 masterpiece. It takes place in a modern setting, Verona Beach, but keeps William Shakespeare's language.
Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Or, if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet. Shall I hear more? Or shall I speak at this?
That decision provides an easy entry point for young people into Shakespeare's world. Paired with wonderful early performances from Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes, the romance takes one of the most well-known teenage tales in the book and does it justice while offering a modern twist.
Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night.
Number 13, Bring It On. Cheerleaders are a staple of many high school experiences, and no teen movie has done cheerleading better than Bring It On.
I'm bitchin', great hair. The boys all love to stare. I'm wanted, I'm hot. I'm everything you're not. I'm pretty, I'm cool. I dominate this school.
In this 2000 classic, Kirsten Dunst solidifies her reign as a queen of teen moviedom as Torrance Shipman, while Eliza Dushku's Missy makes so many of us feel seen. They, alongside the rest of the fabulous cast, do all this while also making us laugh. But though it's a hilarious comedy, Bring It On also takes on some important issues concerning race and cultural appropriation.
Every time we get some, here y'all come trying to steal it, putting some blonde hair on it, and calling it something different. We've had the best squad around for years, but no one's been able to see what we can do. Oh, but you better believe all that's gonna change this year.
The East Compton Clovers have deservedly become one of the most remembered aspects of the movie today, and Gabrielle Union's performance is one for the history books.
Now, captain to captain, I respect what you guys did out there. You guys were good.
Thanks. You were better.
We were, huh?
Number 12, Easy A.
Isn't that always the way? The books you read in class always seem to have some strong connection with whatever angsty adolescent drama is going on.
We love a teen rom-com based on a classic work of literature, and in 2010, we were itching for a great one. Luckily, this flick took the trope and did it justice with gusto.
The shudder-inducing and cliched, however totally false account of how I lost my virginity to a guy at a community college.
Based partly on Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter, Easy A stars Emma Stone as Olive, who starts lying and pretending to get intimate with boys. The premise is just the right amount of scandalous and leads to a slew of hilariously awkward situations for our main character, as well as more difficult ones. Yet there's also a surprisingly tender ending, and Stone delivers an A+ teen movie performance throughout.
I see you've been watching my live webcast. Still going on, you know.
Screw them, they've had enough of you. Figuratively speaking.
Number 11, She's the Man. During the aughts, Amanda Bynes reigned supreme on the silver screen. The child actor became a teen movie sensation with films like What a Girl Wants and one of our favorites, She's the Man.
Okay, now show me the strut.
cock a loogie. I'm so proud.
Based on William Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, it features Bynes as Viola, a girl who impersonates her twin brother in order to take his spot on a soccer team. The results are as wonderfully messy as you'd expect.
Well, Hastings, why is it that I always find you in the middle of a tussle?
Bad timing?
Bynes is fantastic, playing to her comedic instincts flawlessly, particularly when it comes to her physicality. The film also solidified a newer face as a true heartthrob. Channing Tatum plays opposite Bynes, and the two have a sweet and funny chemistry.
Like cheese?
Well, why, yes, I do. My favorite's Gouda.
Oh, I like Gouda too.
See?
See what?
We're flowing.
We're talking about cheese.
So what? Flow is flow.
Number 10, 13 Going on 30. We know, Jennifer Garner isn't actually a teenager in this movie, but she's playing a 13-year-old trapped in an adult's body, and that adolescent mentality is central to the plot, so it definitely counts.
I like your dress. It's because I've got these incredible boobs to fill it out.
13 Going on 30 centers around Jenna, a teen girl who suddenly finds herself as a 30-year-old after she makes a wish. At first, Jenna is jazzed about her new age, but quickly realizes that there's more to being 30 than meets the eye.
Oh, no. Oh, yes. Only now I'm taking your job and you can stay here with the magazine that you single-handedly flushed down the toilet.
Garner is an absolute delight in the film, able to play the comedic and emotional moments with ease. Her dynamic with Mark Ruffalo, who plays her love interest, is also equal parts sensitive and sizzling.
Yeah, I've had a really great time working with you this week.
Me too.
Number 9, The Princess Diaries. Shut up! Of course we were going to put this Anne Hathaway classic on the list.
Beg your pardon? Shut up.
Your Majesty, in America, it doesn't always mean be quiet. Here it could mean wow, gee whiz, golly wally.
Oh, I understand. Thank you.
The Princess Diaries is based on the classic Meg Cabot book of the same name, and is the feature film debut for Hathaway. But based on her performance, you wouldn't think she had never been in a film before.
You try living for 15 years thinking that you're one person, and then in 5 minutes you find out that you're a princess. You know what? Just in case I'm not enough of a freak already, let's add a tiara.
As Mia, the awkward teen who suddenly learns that she is actually royalty, Hathaway is endearing, funny, and endlessly relatable as she struggles to act like a princess. Plus, this teen movie gave us the great Julie Andrews as the one and only Queen Clarice. And for that, we will always be eternally grateful.
Do you need a lift home? Oh, that would be very helpful. Thank you. Come along, Mia. Goodbye, trolley people.
Number 8, Grease. When you want a quintessentially fantastical musical rom-com, look no further than Grease. It's often considered not just one of the most popular teen movies, but one of the most popular movies, period. With colorful and exciting production design, electric performances, and fantastic musical numbers, it captures your attention and holds it. John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John are mesmerizing as Danny and Sandy, delivering top-tier renditions of songs like Summer Nights and You're the One That I Want. At the end of the day, Grease is the perfect teen musical, with a magical ending that brings it home. Number 7, Moonlight. This may be one of the quieter films out there, but it's also one of the most poignant. Barry Jenkins's coming-of-age drama deals with a number of major themes, like sexuality, identity, mistreatment, and love.
You had me worried about you. I guess you getting grown. I can't be keeping up with you all the time.
Unfolding over the course of 3 sections, Moonlight follows Chiron, a kid growing up in Miami. Chiron has to deal with his mother's substance use disorder and his own burgeoning sexuality as he comes to terms with the fact that he's gay.
I want to do a lot of things that don't make sense. I didn't say it don't make sense.
Jenkins's script and direction handles these sensitive topics with empathy, while still portraying some difficult realities. 3 different actors portray Chiron at different parts of his life, their performances coming together to create one wholly realized character.
What you looking at me like that for?
What, man? Come on, you just drove down here?
Yeah.
Number 6. Lady Bird. Mother-daughter movies don't necessarily always get the attention they deserve. Thankfully, 2017's Lady Bird definitely got its very well-deserved flowers.
Of course I love you.
But do you like me?
I want you to be the very best version of yourself that you can be.
Greta Gerwig's solo directorial debut follows the semi-autobiographical journey of Christine, aka Lady Bird, a teenager growing up in Sacramento in the early 2000s. Gerwig's sense of place and time imbue their way into every bit of the screenplay and direction, whether it be through the music, the clothes, or the setting.
Well, I was just describing it.
Well, it comes across as love.
Sure. I guess I pay attention.
Don't you think maybe they are the same thing?
What truly makes it so special is how specific each teen character is. They don't really fall into stereotypes, instead feeling like living, breathing people. Saoirse Ronan's stunning starring performance then is the cherry on top.
Well, I gave it to myself. It's given to me by me.
Okay. Take it away, Lady Bird.
Number 5. 10 Things I Hate About You. As far as teen Shakespeare adaptations go, this might be the pinnacle.
Now there's a way to get a guy's attention, huh?
My mission in life. But obviously I struck your fancy, so you see it worked. The world makes sense again.
10 Things I Hate About You closed out the 1990s with a bang, delivering some of the most epic moments we've ever seen in a teen rom-com. The rule of the Stratford household is that little sis Bianca can't go out with anyone until Julia Stiles' Kat does. So some boys at school devise a plan to pay someone to seduce Kat so that they can get to Bianca.
People jump out of airplanes and ski off cliffs. It'd be like extreme dating, huh?
You think you could find someone that extreme?
That someone is none other than Patrick Verona, played by the late, great Heath Ledger. From the song and dance number, to letters to Cleo on the roof, to a compelling premise and magnetic finish, 10 Things has it all.
But mostly I hate the way I don't hate you. Not even close. Not even a little bit. Not even at all.
Number 4. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Allow us to give a little lip service to one of the coolest guys in the teen movie canon.
They all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.
Seriously, it's quite possible that nobody is quite as cool as Ferris Bueller. When Matthew Broderick brought him to life on screen, he solidified his place in teen comedy history.
A person should not believe in ism. He should believe in himself. I quote John Lennon, "I don't believe in Beatles, I just believe in me." A good point there.
The John Hughes movie sees Ferris decide he's not in the mood for school, and he instead heads out, accompanied by his partner Sloane and bestie Cameron. There's not a whole lot of heavy-handed plot, unless you consider lip-syncing to Twist and Shout during a parade plot, yet the film tackles its moments of seriousness with wit and intelligence, and leans into the goofier parts. Somehow, Ferris makes being a slacker feel smart.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Number 3. Clueless. Did you honestly think we could ever leave Clueless off the list?
Ugh, as if.
Based on Jane Austen's seminal novel Emma, it follows popular girl Cher as she takes a new girl at school under her wing and plays matchmaker among her peers and teachers. Clueless's script sets it apart, while giving the star of the show, Alicia Silverstone, the space to really shine.
Stunning. You're not letting her go out like that, are you?
Cher, get in here.
What's up, Daddy?
What the hell is that?
A dress.
Says who?
Calvin Klein.
Silverstone is unforgettable as Cher, giving us so much verve and personality it's hard to believe. To this day, Clueless remains both one of the greatest adolescent-centered flicks and one of the best Austen adaptations we've ever seen.
You proud?
Honey, I couldn't be happier than if they were based on real grades.
Number 2. The Breakfast Club. Weird Science may have come out the same year, but this one was the takedown of high school cliques that we all needed.
What is going to happen to us on Monday? When we're all together again? I mean, I consider you guys my friends. I'm not wrong, am I?
John Hughes' The Breakfast Club centers around 5 high school students who are forced to spend a Saturday in detention. Individually, they each embody a typical teenage archetype as Hughes depicts them.
A brain, and an athlete,
And a basket case. A princess.
And a criminal.
Yet despite their differences, the students come to learn they have more in common than they thought possible throughout their day-long sentence. By the end, they've come together and beaten the system, at least for a little while. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Mean Girls. It wasn't Lindsay Lohan's only movie released in 2004, but we'd say it was her best.
Cruel. I meant to say cool and then I started to say great.
Right. Well, cruel.
Through Mean Girls, Tina Fey and company deliver a scathing takedown of the social hierarchy, especially as it relates to teenage girls. They do so through one of the funniest films ever made, and a lot of that humor can be attributed to the work of the wonderful cast.
So fetch. What is fetch? Oh, it's like slang from England.
Lohan holds down the fort as Katie Heron, the new girl who finds her way into the popular clique called the Plastics. But every single actor delivers a top-notch performance, coming together to give us the most amazing teen movie. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.